Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ignite in Community YouTube channel. My name is Codi Chen and I am the co-creator of Heartworks Writing. We take care of all of your copywriting, editing, ghostwriting, content coaching, and book coaching needs. Writing is a huge part of my life and you can follow me on social at Codi Elizabeth or our company at Heartworks Writing. Definitely check out our website, www.heartworksw.com. And if you're interested in any of those services, you are more than welcome to message us there. All of our contact information is on our website as well. Today, we are going to talk about starting the first chapter of your book. If you are someone who is interested in writing a book, it's been on your mind, or maybe you've already started, you can use this as a reference for some tips and some tricks in order to make a successful first chapter and start your book off with a bang. So that leads right into the first part. You want to start your first chapter in the middle of a conflict or in the middle of something exciting. The point of the first chapter and even the point of the first sentence that you write in this book is to get people engaged and want to read more. Otherwise, if you're starting with setting the scene, it can be important because you do want to set the scene within the first chapter, but don't make it the first thing that you're writing about. It gets boring. It doesn't keep people's interest, right? So take Wild, for example. Wild by Cheryl Strayed. She starts her book off and it's in a prologue. So it kind of is right before chapter 1. A lot of nonfiction books start with a prelude, prologue, author's note, everything like that. The point of that is she takes a story from the middle of her book and puts it right there, just snippets of it. That way we get really excited about what's to come. She's talking about, she's day almost 40 into, I think, a 60 or 90 day journey. And she loses her hiking boot right off the top of a mountain, right? So she is devastated and is frustrated, and it makes the reader want to learn more. This girl is halfway through her hiking trip. She doesn't really have a ton of experience. She talks about a bunch of different loss that she's had right away, and watching this boot fly off a mountain into a point where she has no idea where it is. There is no way of retrieving it. It makes us interested to see, okay, what did she go through? What is she currently going through? What are we going to read? It really engages the person who is reading the story to want to keep reading more to understand what is happening. We also want to make sure that we introduce our main characters within the first chapter, the people who are really going to be pivotal in the story. So you want to explain a little bit more about you. If you're writing a memoir, you want to really highlight your main character and the other main characters and supporting characters. A mistake is thinking that your reader needs to know all of the backstory right away. I know that it's really, it feels like, oh, they should really know this, but part of the excitement of reading a book and what keeps people engaged is learning more and more about a character or plot development as time goes on. So you can kind of set some of the main tones, and you can express that by the main character interacting with the other characters. Is this person really outgoing and sassy and hilarious? We want to explain that within their actions. Maybe their father figure is someone very stern and serious. And so we want to then build out that and show that in that character as well if they're very pivotal to the book and where it's going. You want to also set the tone of your book. If your book is a really serious read, or maybe it's dark and it's mystery or it's horror, you don't want to start off with a light, super hilarious, funny beginning. That doesn't set the tone for your book. It doesn't really flow into all of your book. So don't start there. Definitely, if you have a nice, light, funny book or anything like that, start with hilarious stories. And then you can go back to them in the middle of your book, kind of pick off where that started. That way people can see the evolution of when they first started reading to where they are now halfway through the book. We also want to be very clear on a theme when we're writing our book. What is the purpose of you writing? Is it to show the evolution of this character? Is it a how-to book and you provide steps on how to get from one place to the other? Or is it just for pure enjoyment and you want to experience this conflict and see how it resolves throughout the book, and it's just very engaging, light and fun, and it's just a really nice read? But we want to also stick with a specific theme. So you don't want to pack in, if this doesn't work with your book, alien encounters and also mothering tip advice and also, legal advice and also our spiritual journey, and push it all into one big book. Well, good news, friends, you can write several books out of all of that information. We really just want to kind of stick with one theme during one book, right? Or several different themes that go together nicely, rather than pulling on a bunch of different stories that don't really flow together, don't make a lot of sense. You want to tell us what the goal is and what your character is looking to get out of these goals. Are we looking to see how they overcome this specific problem or this specific character trait, going from very introverted and quiet to more extroverted and confident, be able to speak confidently through these different things? You want to be able to show the evolution, all of that. Something to avoid, like I was saying before, was avoid trying to think that your reader must know everything about this character and their whole backstory in order to go with the flow of your entire story. Let it reveal itself in time. Also, you want to really think of descriptions for your characters and develop it out that way and be able to show them throughout your book how they evolve and how they get better. Something that you want to avoid is using too many cliches, using those very common phrases. If it's your first draft and you are first writing this book, let whatever comes come. Be as cliche as you want. But when you get into the editing process, think of some more creative ways in order to express what you're trying to say. Also, if you fail to end the first chapter with a bang or a bit of a cliffhanger, the person's not really necessarily going to want to read on to the second chapter. So we want to keep that momentum going when people are reading our book, which means we need to keep pushing the story and letting people really want more. You'll give them more throughout your entire book and by the end of the book, but the first chapter is so important. You want to start off with a bang. You want to end with a bang. You want people to really want to read your book. That's exciting, right? So these are just different ways that you can successfully start your book and some different tips in order for you to be able to do that. Again, this is art. You can do whatever you want. Your first draft especially, just do what you want. Just let the words come however they come. Don't worry about grammar, nothing like that. But when we do want to hit publish, or we do want to get published, right? We want to think of these things in a really thoughtful manner. And how engaging is this book? How exciting is this book? How can I keep this reader involved in my story? So thank you so much. I love talking about book writing and about copywriting, about all of these writing needs. So definitely subscribe to this channel. Give this video a like. Let me know how you started your first chapter. I would love to hear it. Let me know what books you've written below. Thanks so much, and until next time.